I kind of thought that Wrecker was out.
Pour one out for my little homie. Like, he got Gonky out of there before.
Omega and Emery.
Dude, that face turn is coming.
Palpatine, I don't want to fight you, Omega. I wouldn't want to fight me neither.
I wouldn't want to fight me neither.
If I had a nickel for every blue space outlaw that kidnapped a special child in a Disney property, well, I'd have 3 nickels, but it's just weird that it happened 3 times.
Found this old Imperial transmitter off of the wreckage of Enigma's ship. I'm hoping we can use this to contact the batch, maybe through their encrypted channels. Yeah, I'm gonna need the splicer, for sure. Seth, please, splicer. Dude, what gives?
I mean, Omega's gone. Hunter failed. Crosshair missed. Wrecker got wrecked.
What about Pabu?
Who?
You know, you just give him time and...
That's not even the worst part, man. Gonky's MIA.
Do you need to talk about it? Well, let me just wrap this up and we'll get to it. All right, so we're just...
What's it say?
Well, it's encrypted, but I can tell you who it's from. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Dune Sea. My name is Konnor.
And I'm Seth.
My favorite comment from last week was from Quinlan Voss. Bro, the Galactic Hero figures just hit me with massive nostalgia. They're so cool. I like the. I had got a lot of comments and messages about those. I'm like, I'm glad I wasn't the only one who liked those.
Those are the little guys, right?
The little guys, yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
But
they're cool.
it has not escaped me, Quinlan, that you survived the explosion.
Monster.
So, we'll see each other again.
I'm sure we will. My favorite comment was also from our YouTube video from last week. This is at presuming_Ed. This was the best episode yet of the Bad Batch. Didn't realize how deprived I was of a lightsaber. Man, she was awesome. You know what? She was pretty cool. I'll give you that. That I know that we weren't the hottest on last week's episode, but still, she was cool. I'm glad she's back. I can't wait to see what happens going forward.
Yeah, I watched that episode with my wife last week, toward the end of the week, and I don't know if it was just recency bias or what, but I'm like, I kind of liked it a little bit more on a second watch.
Oh, okay.
The context we get in these episodes that we just watched helped me a little bit with that one, because I said in our video last week that I'm like, we'll see how it falls when all the pieces are laid. Yeah. But yeah, I like Asajj a lot. But we'll say the hair, the look.
Yeah.
Give me a figure of that.
Yeah. I'm sure it's coming.
I hope so.
Well, watch it be a pipeline in like 3 years. But
in maybe 6 years, Hasbro will give it to us. But maybe, I don't know. It'd be sick if Hot Toys did something.
Yeah, or a figure art or something like that of it.
Ooh, yeah. Yes. I'd love that as a figure art with how acrobatic she is.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You ever bought an amazing Yamaguchi?
I have not.
Okay.
I've been very tempted by their Spider-Man figures.
She would be a good one for that.
She would be if they ever stepped in. They've done Darth Vader before.
Yeah.
So that'd be wild.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it?
Such interest. So we got a double hitter this week.
Yeah.
Pretty insane double hitter, actually.
Yes.
Like, we have a lot to talk about today. So we're just not going to waffle around. 1 minute review, hit me.
Yeah. I liked both of them a lot. I thought they were slightly predictable. Like, we knew that something bad was going to happen. D. Bradley Baker had said that these are the saddest episodes yet. So I think it's kind of weird, all things considered. Granted, recency bias maybe. I think I liked the first episode and how somber it was and how just like creepy overtones the whole thing had, more than I liked the second one, which was more just kind of like your big action set piece with the batch kind of getting all messed up one by one.
Yeah.
And I think I liked the first one more just because of I guess it wasn't as predictable, but it is interesting to see. I'm really curious about Emery going forward. Like I'm like, okay, the face turn's coming. I'm just curious how that all kind of plays out. Will it be like, is she gonna be the one to help Rex and the other clones like figure out where Tantus is at? Something along those lines. I don't know. Yeah,
there's a thought.
Yeah.
For me, I could get a baseball bat out to more records right now.
Yeah.
Start smashing more because, gosh, it just continues to be awesome.
Yeah.
Last week, we already kind of said was, I don't want to call it a misstep. That's not the right word. It just, it felt like it lost a little bit of momentum.
Yeah. It was a backdoor pilot. Let's be honest. It really felt like that.
But this week, if we get to the end of the season and I only look back at that episode and be like, yeah, we lost a little momentum here. It was like this. Okay. And then boom, right back up. Like, hey, you know what? I'm here for it. And the animation continues to be excellent. The music continues to be out of this world. And gosh, the character development is just my favorite thing in this. It continues to surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
I continue to think that they're going to do something predictable with a character, and then they don't do that.
Yeah.
Just perfect example. We'll talk about it later, but Crosshair missing the tracking device at the end because they build and build and build, and you're like, he's going to get it.
Yeah.
Right before the clock strikes 0, he's going to hit it, and that's going to be their hope for the next episode.
It's all going to be good. Yeah.
Nope. Splash.
Yeah. Which is really weird. Anyway, we'll talk about it more.
It's just that it continues to surprise me because I think there's a lot that they can do with that.
Yeah.
And like you said, Emery is very interesting. Hemlock, we get a lot more on Hemlock these 2 episodes. Yeah. I'm more and more when the show's over. I think this is going to be my favorite show. I think this is.
I've been championing it, man.
It doesn't get better than this. Honestly, it is very, very good, which is really nice.
Yeah,
it's really cool. So that's probably more than 1 minute, but let's just get right into it. Let's get into the takeaways. So let's start soft, start light. Let's ramp up.
Yeah.
I just have a note here that says Sid and Scorch.
When they said the female Trandoshan, I'm like,
yeah,
that jerk.
It's funny when they said that. They said Trandoshan.
Yeah.
Goodness, I pictured Bosk for a moment.
Yeah,
because my mind was really focused on Boba Fett because they were doing stuff with Cat Bane, in the episode. And so I was like, oh, what are they gonna do with Bosk? I'm like, oh, duh, they're talking about Sid.
Yeah,
like screw her, man.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
she's coming back?
Yeah, what a jerk.
Here's what I got to say about Sid. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Sid is to Bad Batch what Pong Krell is to the Clone Wars. All my homies hate Sid is what I'm getting at.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. All right. I got that. Okay.
Yeah. She sucks. Like,
she does suck.
Like, I remember her episode.
She'll get her comeuppance.
Maybe. I don't know that we'll see her. Maybe we will.
Yeah.
I remember her in the first 2 seasons being more like, gosh, another Sid episode. Here we go.
Yeah.
But she wasn't that bad, but then she just turns on the batch on a dime, and now she's continuing to do it.
Yeah.
Like, she's now
responsible.
responsible.
I think they were squeezing her. That's the whole thing.
Sure, but I doubt she was that tough.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
So she sucks. I don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
All my homies hate Sid. That's all I got to say.
Homies be hating.
But then Scorch.
He actually got name confirmation.
Yeah.
And I just think that's neat because, like, it's one thing for, like, the guys behind the scenes to be like, oh, yeah, that's him. No, that's cool that, like, we got another Legends character actually now being part of canon.
Yeah.
So he's a jerk also now.
He also does suck.
He sucks, but it is cool. And where is the rest of
Delta Squad?
Delta Squad. Where's the rest of them?
It's an interesting implication. Yeah. Where are the rest of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just have written down for Scorch when they are going to pick up the specimen from Cat Bane.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, this specimen is younger than I expected.
Yeah.
And he just like pushes her and says, then he'll be less trouble.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go too, man. Scorch, sorry.
I mean, he's the one that shot, like, they shot that kid 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I know. I'm just like,
yeah.
Never go full Anakin Skywalker, Scorch. What are you doing? I guess
so, yeah.
But all my Delta Squad lovers out there, I'm playing the game right now very slowly. But they're cool. But Scorch has got to go.
Yeah.
Sorry. He's got to go.
He's done. But what happened to Boss and Fixer?
I know.
It's crazy.
Maybe Scorch killed them all. Maybe he ordered 66 them.
Why?
I don't know. He sucks right now. That's for sure.
I know he does suck. He does suck.
That's a good question though. Like, where are the rest of them?
Yeah, because I won't say anything. You're playing the game.
Oh yeah.
Never mind.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been saying from the beginning that Bad Batch, Clone Force 99 is just Delta Force, Delta Squad. Like they're just the new canon version of them. So I think Scorch being in this is more like a tip of the hat.
Yeah, but Delta Squad is in Clone Wars in that one episode
for
like 10 seconds.
That's true.
They just walk by. Yeah.
I just mean that like this elite clone squad.
Kind of like how Mando is Boba Fett. That like
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes. So another small thing with this episode that I mean, not really a small thing, a big thing, but I just want to talk about it for a minute is the music. Kevin Konnor's score.
Dude. He all of a sudden decided to crank up some John Williams in there. I feel like he got some horns going. I swear, you didn't hear it, but I swear I heard some like First Order Kylo Ren kind of sounding
when
music.
The TKs were.
Yes, when they were attacking the village and everything. Is it Pabu?
Pabu. Yes.
Yeah, when they were attacking Pabu, that like a like there's just like, dude, yes, that's what I want, because it reminded me of the First Order attacking the village at the beginning of Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there's a lot of
similar imagery.
I liked the music on Tantus is some of my favorite scores because they almost feel out of place.
Yeah, they're
like
so like weird, like ticking and like it's very kind of Blade Runner sounding almost.
It is, yes, a lot of synth,
atmospheric.
It's very eerie. It really just sets the mood, and it's a really good score. And that's what's neat about what Konnor's doing. Ludwig did kind of something similar with The Mandalorian, like creating a sound that doesn't necessarily sound Star Warsy.
It's unique to the show.
Yeah, but now it's kind of become part of that pantheon of Star Wars music. It's so cool. It's just neat that Konnor's been able to do that, because that's a tall order, to follow John Williams on anything.
It's true. And I was gonna say, but like those horns that hit right before he went to go talk to Tarkin, just good stuff. It's good stuff. I'm loving it.
Both episodes ending with no theme music, but kind of an extension of what was going on in the score. I love that. I love when storytellers continue to tell their story beyond just the start and end point of their show. Does that make sense? Like using titles or using music after, like while the credits are moving.
Yeah.
There's this
kind of continuing the feel or the mood of your
exactly
of your scene.
Like planting breadcrumbs. This is a little bit of a tangent, but about this. So back when I did a fan film, a DC fan film. It was all about Robin and Batman and stuff. And
I've seen
the death of the family story, basically death in the family and death of the family. We kind of merged the two. Anyway, the guy who edited them was very he thought a lot about like all these tiny things that nobody will notice. And we would tease him about it a little bit because he would go very, very hard on it. His name is Pano, very great guy. And during the infamous crowbar scene, from the comics, where Joker beats Robin, he did this motif, found this music. It was a composer he really enjoyed, and he took the music from that and kind of reworked it for this. And so we had various themes. Well, at the very end of the story, spoiler alert, not that anybody will watch this, but spoiler alert, Robin's not really dead in the story. And so he continued the motif on like a very hard, like boom, as soon as the credits go, because it gets very nice and somber and easy because everybody's kind of, it deals with what happened. And the music is kind of somber, but it starts to crescendo. But then as soon as the credits go, it jumps right back up and starts that theme. And his idea was, this is telegraphing to the audience that he's still with Joker now. He's not dead, even though the characters believe he's dead.
Yeah.
And
Robin's still out there.
Yeah. And so it's a tiny thing. You don't actually find that out until the next film, because we did 4.
Yeah.
You don't actually find that out until 4, but I love that kind of stuff. And I think that Konnor did it here really well, where that first episode with Emery, you get more of those themes. Like you're still thinking about Tantus, even when the credits, you're not thinking about the Bad Batch being triumphant and they got their adventure of the week out of the way. You're thinking about, okay, something sinister is still happening on Tantus, even while I'm watching these credits.
Yeah.
It almost gives you like a real time approach to the story, and then same thing with the following episode, Point of No Return,
Yeah.
the very end,
Somber on Crosshair.
it's still kind of those Empire themes, like,
Mhm.
oh no, this is the Empire's show right now.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love that kind of stuff.
It's good.
So, into some meat, into some just
Yeah. We got to talk about some stuff.
you got to talk about. There's a lot
Yeah.
a lot of insanity that
Yeah.
happened here. I want to deep dive on Palpatine's history with kidnapping children,
Okay.
because that was a pretty dark turn.
Yeah.
Like, we knew that they were going after high M count targets.
Yeah.
They had hired class 1 bounty hunters, to do that.
Yeah.
But I assumed, I don't know about everybody else, I don't know about you, that we're talking about the Asajj Ventresses, like the Obi-Wan Kenobis, if they could get their hands on them.
Yeah.
Like the surviving Jedi of Order 66.
Yeah. Well, there was even that throwaway line about that, though, that it was like it's harder to find people.
Yes.
Grown people.
Well,
And
it's not
easier
that it's
to control
harder
the
to-
kids
it's-
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a direct quote here
Yeah.
from.
Well, I mean, Order 66 happened, so all the Jedi are dead, basically.
no, it
Yeah.
makes a twisted amount of sense.
Yeah.
It's just to see them not only do it, but really go into their philosophy on it and how wicked that is. Hemlock is so.
It's a very like grim fairy tale, kind of like the Pied Piper, like going after the children
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That like, like the old witch going after the children. And I do love it when Star Wars leans into fantasy or fantasy tropes. So I do think that it does kind of work for Palpatine to be like the wicked stepmother or whatever stepfather you want to look at it. I know that's weird, a weird analogy, but I mean, he's kidnapping children at this point for his nefarious reasons.
Yeah.
To live forever, basically, steal their youth.
It was just not good and nice are not, they're the words that were coming to mind, but that's not really what describes this. It's just, I like that they went there.
Yeah.
That they doubled down on the darkness, because sometimes you need that to see our heroes be so good. You need to see the villains be so bad.
Yeah.
And the Hemlock's line was something, I thought I had it written down here, but
and don't get me wrong.
oh yeah, I do have it written here. Sorry. It's that Hemlock says children are easier to obtain and more agreeable to subjugation.
Yeah.
And then Scorch later is like, hey, he'll be easier to control.
Mm-hmm.
That's evil. That is evil. It would be evil to kidnap like an Asajj Ventress and to tamper with her too, but to take advantage of the innocence of a child.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Is they're not just kidnapping them and subjugating them, but they're taking advantage of a child's innocence.
Yeah.
And removing them from their homes and all of these things. It's like, wow, they really doubled down on that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, twisted version of the Jedi. Like the Jedi are, like they go and, here, have my child because they, are force sensitive. We'll take care of your kid.
Yeah. And isn't that voluntary?
Yeah. The parents are, the parents are giving them away. That's how, as opposed to the Sith taking them
Just
or the dark
taking them.
side just taking them. Yeah. I mean, that was really sad with like Cad Bane being under the door. Like you see the shadow under the door, and then and it, like that's sad.
It was. It felt like it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Inglourious Bastards a little bit. The beginning of that, or like idea of like you're hiding these Force users and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so dark.
It was weird too with having the crowd hearsay or whatever. That's like there's something weird about that kid. Don't say that. That could bring the wrong people around.
Yeah,
it's just like
the SS is coming.
Yes, exactly.
That's what man.
Yeah.
It really got real, and like I was really looking forward to seeing Cad Bane from the trailer, but now I'm like, you suck too, Cad Bane. I'm glad Boba Fett stabs you in the chest.
I bet that's all he's in it too.
I kind of bet so too. Yeah, just
that was just a nice
little drop.
Yep, nice little cameo. Yeah,
and that cameo goes farther than just him being one of the Class 1 bounty hunters, because I was doing some research on this for this episode. In Clone Wars Season 2, Episode 3, titled Children of the Force, that whole arc is about Palpatine kidnapping kids and bringing them to Mustafar.
Yeah.
Well, who does he contact directly to do this?
Cad Bane does it.
Cad Bane does it.
Yeah.
And he also disguises himself as a Jedi to start, because Palpatine basically tells him, pick 4 children from this holocron, because the previous episode is about stealing this holocron, kind of like in Fallen Order.
And it's got a list of names on
list
it, right?
of Force-sensitive children. And Palpatine contacts Cad Bane directly, which I also found fascinating, that I get a little tidbit I never picked up on. But tells Cad Bane, just pick 4 at random and go steal them. And so he finds a Rhodian youngling.
Yeah.
And steals him to bring back to Mustafar.
Yeah.
And the indifference there with Cad Bane, like I wrote down his lines, he says, as long as I get paid, it makes no difference to me, to Palpatine. Because he questions him at first. He's like, hey, kidnapping kids, that's even for you.
It's bad. Yeah.
And that, I think, is a tip of the hat, no pun intended, when he says in this episode, let's just say I'm good at my job. Because Emery asks him, how many times have you done this?
Yeah.
Like, he's done it a few times,
Yeah.
obviously here. And I think that's very, it's a nice thread. Like, they didn't just pick Cad Bane because he's a fan favorite. No, he has experience with this very dark thing that we are familiar with.
Doesn't bug him. And 2, let's be honest, I think it's neat that he's that level of bounty hunter. Like, let's be honest, Boba Fett kind of has a soul that we've seen.
He wouldn't do that. Yeah.
He has a code. He's always lived by a code. That's what's interesting too, even with him in Legends, is that he had a code. There was some things that he just wouldn't do. So, it's cool that like there are bad bounty hunters. Like, Cad Bane's that guy. That he's evil.
Yeah, it's a nice reminder for us, to the audience, because I like Cad Bane a lot, and there are times where he teams up with our heroes.
Yeah,
because he has to.
Yeah,
but no,
he's not cool. He's evil.
Yeah,
yeah.
And another thing I want to say on this note: if I had a nickel for every blue space outlaw that kidnapped a special child in a Disney property, well, I'd have 3 nickels, but it's just weird that it happened 3 times.
It is really weird.
Yondu, Cad Bane, and then what's the other guy's name? Captain Gantu from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing that I noticed. Like,
It's weird.
At first, I noticed the difference.
Gantu's kind of gray, but that's okay.
Little creative license.
Okay, I gotcha. All right.
He's a shark too.
He is.
I don't know. He's kind of got the eyes like Cad Bane.
Yeah.
He's kind of similar, but I noticed the difference with him, or the thing with him and Yondu first. I was like, oh, this is kind of like Yondu kidnapping all the kids for Ego.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's blue. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it more. I'm like, wait a minute. In Lilo and Stitch, they do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just a weird coincidence to me.
It is really weird. That's odd.
Something funny I thought I'd bring up while we're talking about this very dark topic.
That is, I was going to say, it's just, come on, Disney.
Yeah.
Have an original idea.
So, another thing about Palpatine with his history of this incredibly evil thing.
Yeah.
It's also a nice reminder that Palpatine is evil.
Yeah.
Which is obvious,
it's the
but
same thing,
sometimes.
But no, it's not, because like, as I said earlier, that it's like, oh man, he's so cool. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a Voldemort thing where it's like, he does great things.
Yeah.
But
terrible,
but
great.
Great things.
Yeah.
That, like, Palpatine's a lot like that in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that sometimes, like with a Vader, for example, where like he's got the rule of cool.
Yeah.
We sympathize with him as a character. Palpatine, we don't really sympathize with him, but he's kind of got the rule of cool. He's incredibly powerful. He's incredibly intelligent.
Hey, he's in my top 10.
Yeah. Mine too.
Yeah.
It's just, so it's a nice, like, no guys, this guy sucks.
No, he sucks.
He doesn't just twist people to the dark side. No, he's kidnapping kids so that he can stay alive forever. Like there's another really evil twist on that. Like,
stealing their youth,
stealing children so he can stay alive forever.
Yes.
Like that is evil. Almost always the root cause of evil is selfishness. And this is,
that's it.
This is selfishness to its highest order.
Yes. You don't deserve to live. I'm that important.
Yeah.
It's dark.
It is dark.
Yeah.
It is really dark. And there's another book, there is a book titled Star Wars Dark Legends by George Mann. It's a follow-up to it's called like Myth and Magic or something like that. I don't remember. It's basically an anthology of short stories that are like scary stories, but set in the Star Wars universe, but they are canon.
Okay, so these are things that like that keep kids up at night.
Yeah, it even says in the tagline, like, these are the stories that keep Luke and Leia up at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what.
All right.
And so I have a quote here about there's a story about the Grand Inquisitor also kidnapping children on behalf of the Emperor.
Interesting.
Here's the quote. Just one of Darth Sidious's secret plans, Project Harvester, aims to identify and capture Force-sensitive children and turn them into agents of the dark side. Operating from the planet Arcanus, the children are raised in the care of Sidious's agents. His ultimate vision is to train an army of Force-sensitive spies and to use their powers to see events across the galaxy. The Emperor believes that by peering into events, he can find and destroy anyone who opposes him.
It's creepy, man. It's kind of my Mara Jade vibes, too.
Yeah.
That she's just, picked up, Force-sensitive person, trained behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be a spy, to be an assassin. Yeah.
I think it's interesting why I probably bring this up, because obviously his goals are different here.
Yeah.
But how evil can sort of progress. Like he had an evil idea. I'm going to kidnap kids to make an army of Darksiders. And then, I need high M count for my own immortal preservation.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'll go back to the book, you know? I'll just kidnap more kids.
Yeah.
And so it's a very twisted character trait that Palpatine just has.
Yeah.
And it also connects a little bit going forward. What do we see in the Mandalorian timeline? Kidnapping Grogu.
He's trying to kidnap Grogu. Why? For his magic blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that for a moment. I know we talk about, or at least I do, Grogu about every week at this point, but it's hard not to see the similarities with Project Necromancer.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about for a few weeks now, will Omega not make it out of this season? Because
the research and stuff.
Yeah. How does she live in the Emperor, or the Empire does not succeed?
Yeah.
They would be after her constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now wondering, can she survive because the Empire succeeds? Because they need two things. They establish this very clearly in this episode, which we'll get to in a moment.
Yeah.
They need high M count individuals.
Yeah.
And Omega, because she's a binder for the M count transfer.
Perfect blood. Yeah.
Two things.
Or she's like O negative or O positive, whatever. That you can mix blood. Yeah.
So you need a Grogu, you need an Omega.
Yeah.
Maybe they successfully figure out how to replicate whatever magic sauce Omega's got.
Yeah.
And by the end of the season, maybe they succeed with that, but then they blow up Tantus, they do all that, whatever. So the Bad Batch still gets, or the good guys still get their win, but they've solved that part of the problem.
Yeah.
So now post Return of the Jedi, they have the binder.
Now they need something with a high M count.
Yeah, but we also don't have Palpatine anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So Palpatine can't use his own. His body's gone. So he transfers his essence into some decrepit clone that doesn't really work.
Yeah.
So now they need, but we need midichlorians. We need midichlorians to juice Palpatine up so that he can get back to full power.
Yeah.
Okay, now we need to go back.
It's basically the dyad, right? That rejuvenates him in your
favorite movie. In my favorite movie.
Yeah, it's the dyad, right? They're M count together, right?
It's it's still a little muddy, but it's their essence.
Yeah,
that was the final piece, because I think
it's like what rejuvenated him, basically.
Yeah, because we have to remember, by the sequel trilogy, they have figured out how to clone Force sensitive. We got Snoke.
Yeah.
We've got Palpatine.
Yeah, but they're not but they're still unstable.
Exactly. There's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
And so the dyad is the final piece of the puzzle. It's a life force.
Yeah.
It's a more mystical thing.
I assume that it's because Palpatine's his spirit is too powerful for just what they can clone at the time.
Could be.
It's just degrading it. Yeah. At a really rapid rate.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a possibility, or it's just this thing that they're trying to do is just impossible.
Yeah.
And so Palpatine has to literally steal the life force from this dyad by Rise of Skywalker in order to be fully powerful again.
Yeah.
And you could even argue at that, he's probably not still at full health, if you will. I saw a really great...
His life bar isn't completely full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a great tweet that was like...
he is destroying an entire fleet of ships.
Yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
he is.
Yeah.
He is. But I saw a great tweet that was like... it was in defense of Rise of Skywalker, so I loved it.
Yeah, yeah. It's your favorite movie.
But it said, the tweet was something like, Tross does not negate Anakin's sacrifice and what Luke does in Return of the Jedi. They do defeat the devil. He is gone, but the cool part of the sequel trilogy is that they have to go to hell and kill the devil.
Finish the devil.
Good.
Yeah.
And I do think that is a valid look at that whole situation, because we've been getting some comments that are like, I hope Bad Batch just isn't supposed to justify Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, guys, it's so much more than that. First of all, I think it's great that they're filling in gaps. That's fun. Star Wars is a big story. You know, we start to do all these things. And as we mentioned, take the sequel trilogy out of it. This is perfectly in line with Palpatine's character.
Yes. Why wouldn't he do? He did it in Legends, guys. It's like, man.
It's always been the how.
It's true. Yeah.
Somehow was always the part of that word that we didn't like.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, that's the dumb part of it.
Yeah.
I got to play Fortnite to figure it out.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's always been the somehow, not Palpatine returned, but the somehow. But now we're getting the somehow. And that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb that this is kind of the way that it had to be. But the way I like to think about it is like, imagine you put Star Wars in front of somebody who's never seen it before. They have everything and they watch it in sequential order, like chronological order. It does lead nicely into it.
Yeah.
Again, maybe you don't like those movies, but it leans up to that nicely.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that that's kind of fun that it, our heroes, Anakin and Luke, they do win.
Yeah.
But this thing is so evil that it does persist in the bowels of hell and on Exegol.
And their kids have to go deal with it.
Yeah. And they have to go kind of deliver the last blow.
Yeah.
But in order to get him there, you still needed Anakin and Luke to get him there. You know, push him down. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a fun, almost like a Dante's Inferno type thing.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I thought it was
a nice bow on it, I guess.
Yeah, I know. You could say it's a cope. I'm huffing my copium over here, but anyway. So that stuff with to go back to the Grogu thing. I just think that it's interesting. Maybe by the time we get to Mando, they've solved the binder problem, and now they need a Grogu to inject the midichlorians into Palpatine. Yeah. So it's all kind of
into this new body or whatever. Yeah.
You think we're going to see Grogu and Bad Batch at this point? Do you think when Omega gets there and all the kids are in there, he's just going to be not a huge part, just she's saving the kids, because that's where this is going. Yeah. She's going to save the other children with Emery. Yeah. Maybe Grogu's one of them. No, you don't think so?
I think that Grogu's a John thing. I think he gets to tell that story.
Okay.
That's just me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that story is going to get completely told in the movie.
I think so too. The only reason I'm a little bit maybe is because they are linking the two with Project Necromancer.
Yes, they are.
But we mentioned last week or the week before, whenever it was, that Grogu has to have been in Imperial custody at some point.
Yes, because of the chain code. Yeah.
So maybe they do it here. I do think that you get a lot of eye rolls from people. Maybe that's why they don't.
Yeah.
Because I think that Grogu has he's somehow become a very polarizing character. Yeah. I do get it. It's just everything's very Grogu, you know, when it comes to Mando.
The non-fans love him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
my sister, she got into Star Wars because of it. She's
and it is weird that I tell people when I'm if you just don't think this would be your thing, start with The Mandalorian. Who cares?
Yeah.
And and they have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
Grogu is a nice gateway drug.
It is true. Yeah. And I think though the Mandalorian himself also is a nice gateway drug where it's okay, all right. And then it's funny, me trying to explain everything that's going on around the Mandalorian. Because it's well, why is it like this? I'm well, you kind of got to watch the movies. I don't want to watch the movies. Explain it to me. And it's so yeah, that's kind of tough.
Right. Star Wars is always in a rocky predicament where it's do you trust the audience to have watched what came before?
Yeah.
And that can be very liberating as a storyteller, because then you can do some crazy things bring Luke Skywalker back and have it still be an emotionally resonant moment,
for
even
everybody.
Though as far as that story is concerned, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Right?
Who dis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we touched on it a minute ago. Let's just talk about Omega and Emery.
Yeah. Dude, that face turn is coming. That whole thing that they talked about, that Omega has that ability to touch people. She did that weird thing. It reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! You know how Yami touched Kaiba or whatever, then brought the good back to him or whatever. Yeah, that's what it kind of reminds you of. Doesn't it remind you of it?
I guess Omega's gonna be sending people to the Shadow Realm.
No, doing the opposite. There's
I know what you're talking about, where she banishes the
evil. Yeah,
banishes the evil part of people's spirits. And the first season that happens a few times.
Yeah, that's that changes Kaiba for the better.
Yeah,
yeah. So anyway,
that's rid of his darkness.
What?
Gets rid of his darkness.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think is like she kind of like shook the cobwebs out or whatever, like, you know, got rid of the haze where it's like, no, this is who you're meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
You can be something else.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a reel about this, and I'm going to have the cover be Omega with Yugi's hair photoshopped onto it.
Perfect. I love it. You know I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
I do too. I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
Season 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! They're like, after...
You mean Series 1?
Series 1, yeah.
The first 5 seasons of that show.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
After that, we're dueling on motorcycles, and I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
Or we're dueling in an academy. No thanks.
I'm with you. I'd rather be in Egypt.
I would too.
Throwing rocks at each other with gods and monsters.
Yes, this is really random, but have you seen the memes that were going around that was like, Pharaoh, let my people go? And it's Yami. He's like, no. And then it's Moses is like, then it's time to duel. It's so good. And like, fantastic. He looks like Moses looks like the Prince of Egypt. Yeah. Like, it's so good.
It's funny you say that. I've been on a Prince of Egypt kick lately.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the soundtrack.
It's a good flick.
Yeah, because I noticed, again, we're on a tangent now, but I was like, the Dune soundtrack sounds so similar to some of the Prince of Egypt shows. Hans Zimmer. Yep. I forgot that Hans Zimmer did Prince of Egypt.
Yep.
So that got me on a kick. I've been listening to the soundtrack. I need to go hunt down the Blu-ray. I know it's on Peacock, but I'm not subbing to that. So
I gotcha.
I need to go hunt down the Blu-ray for that. I love that. You know, they don't, biblically, we don't know who the Pharaoh is on opposite of Moses. It's theorized it's Ramses.
Yeah.
That's what they show in Prince of Egypt, but we don't know for sure. So maybe it's Yami.
It could be.
It's a Tim. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was.
Sorry, let me use his Egyptian name.
Yes.
So it could be. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it was a Tim.
Yeah.
Again, it's so good. Like, it's just like, why does this work so well?
You ever see that other meme where it's Pharaoh's like, who did this thing? And Moses says, Letma did it. And he's like, who's Letma? Let my people go.
I have not seen that. Wow. Okay, last thing. I'm sorry. Then we'll get back to this. Did you know how in Beyblade, have you ever seen that shot?
No.
Okay, I don't know anything about Beyblade except for this thing is that supposedly a Beyblade, like one of the tops part of the Red Sea. Like there is a shot of Moses. I'm not joking. Where I keep seeing the shot of like the Red Sea parting because they threw a Beyblade in there. And I'm just like, huh. Okay.
That's so funny.
It's wild. Anime's crazy, dude. Anyway, let's get back to it.
I love it.
Yeah, banishing the darkness from Emery. Yeah. That's how I kind of feel about it.
She's gonna.
Well, she kind of did already, and so that face turn is coming. You know that I kind of speculated earlier. I think she's gonna somehow contact Rex and the.
I think it's a great call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe through Wolf somehow. And then Wolf will contact Rex or something like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, how would she be able to figure out through them? But Wolf could figure it out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I noticed that like it had a very different feeling when Omega was captured this time.
Yeah.
Because she does it of her own accord.
Yeah.
And she had just a look of determinants on her face. Like, no, I know how to deal with this time.
Yeah.
And I thought it was because
she was so confident with Crosshair.
Yeah. Well, she's now has learned from all of the batch.
Yeah.
We got a lot with her and Hunter in season 1.
Yeah.
She bonds with Wrecker quite a bit season 1 as well with the Order 66 thing. Tech most of season 2.
Taught her everything.
And also Echo a lot of season 2 because she's really sad that he's leaving.
Yeah.
And now the last season here, season 3, she's gotten the last piece with Crosshair. And so we've been kind of speculating about the Super Skrull theory.
Yeah.
You know, with the Clone X guys. Well, maybe Omega is that Super Skrull, but more in like spirit. That makes sense.
She's got the secret sauce of all of them, basically.
Yeah. She's now imbibed everything she can. She's learned.
Yeah.
And we even joked about like, I am all the Jedi, but she really is. She's kind of like all the Bad Batch now.
I'm all the Batch.
Yeah.
Tick.
Yeah. But that's kind of what it feels like when she's on that ship. It's like, no, you guys have taught me well.
Yeah,
you guys.
She's not a scared little kid anymore.
Yeah.
Now, like,
because I went back and watched when she gets captured in season 2, and she doesn't want to be captured. She does kind of sacrifice herself for Hunter and Wrecker because they get captured.
Yeah.
And there's like an offer of, hey, we'll trade. And she's like, no, I'll never go with you. But then they come down and capture her anyway.
Yeah.
Now she's making the sacrifice play, and she has that confidence of, all of you have taught me everything I need to know. Because I love that moment with Crosshair. Where Crosshair's like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you need to trust me.
Now that we're like talking it out, it does remind you kind of Luke Skywalker, like just willingly going to the Empire.
Yeah.
And like, because, this is, how can she kill it from the inside, basically? Because that's what Luke was going to do. Is he's going to rot the Empire from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
Yeah. It's really interesting. And then also like Crosshair being like, you can't do this. Like, Leia says that too. Yeah. It's like, run away. No, I can't run away. I got to do this. I got to face him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a story about courage too.
Yeah.
Like the courageousness of Omega.
Yeah.
Because I was worried at first, not worried. I just was like, man, this is the same thing from season 2. But I went back and watched it. I'm like, no, she's afraid. She doesn't want to be captured. She tells him, I'll never go with you. But now she's got that spark.
Yeah.
Like I got to get in there.
Yeah.
I need to do this. I need to help my brothers. And I love that Crosshair kind of trusts her on that. There's a great parallel between that and like episode 1 of season 3, where she's talking to him like, we got to go. And he's like, no, finish the mission.
Yeah.
Get out there and
just forget me.
Forget me and do it. And now Omega is saying that, but in a more triumphant way.
Yeah.
In a more, it's almost the same conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Crosshair is like, no, you need to stay here. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And she says,
it's not what Hunter told us to do.
I need to finish the mission.
Yeah.
And I love that parallel. I love it because Crosshair is coming from a more defeatist standpoint in episode 1.
Yeah.
Now Omega is not. She's going from not an optimistic so much, but an offensive.
Yeah.
Let's take this to them.
Yeah. Rot it from the inside.
It's beautiful. I love that so much. The other thing we got to talk about here with Omega, we finally get full confirmation what the Empire wants with her.
Yeah.
There were a lot of hints, and then there was some muddying of the waters last episode when it came to Asajj Ventress and like, does she have a high imp count? Does she not? But we said last week, Asajj was wrong.
Yeah.
And because she doesn't know why. And now, to be fair, Asajj at the end of the episode does say she doesn't know for sure why the Empire is after her, because she says like, there are some things I don't know.
Yeah.
But I did write down the exact quote, because I think it's important.
Yeah.
So he says, M count cannot be directly replicated from the source. The young clone's blood is the only binder that's proven to be compatible with their DNA, there being the high M count samples with their DNA to recreate M count levels.
So you mix some blood and you clone from that, basically.
Yes. So what I'm getting from that is they can take a Palpatine, they can clone Palpatine, but Palpatine 2 has no midichlorians. So they've been trying to just juice them with the midichlorians, but it's impossible to get the transfer. Yeah. Omega's blood is the piece in the middle.
Yeah.
It's the binder to bind the M counts to the new host blood to fully replicate the M count levels of the source.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking it was a step further or whatever, where it's like you combined, then you clone Omega, and then now you have a force sensitive clone, like a clone with an M count already.
It could be, but they're talking about binders and binder. I looked it up. Like
maybe I'm just thinking, making it too hard or whatever. Yeah.
The way you can think about it is like, it's like an adhesive.
Yeah.
So it adheres the M count to the blood.
Yeah.
And so you take whatever that secret sauce, whatever that thing is in Omega's blood, and you can take stuff from Palpatine, like OG Palpatine to Palpatine 2.
Yeah.
So that's, as far as I understand it, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Which is a confirmation that it's not because Omega has high M count necessarily, but it also doesn't mean those aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah. So
I am kind of thinking that Omega will probably have a force moment.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why do that previous episode? Unless
I thought at the end of this episode we would have gotten a hint from it, because she closed her eyes and she I
noticed that. Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yep, that she was sitting there and then nothing happened. I'm like, again, if there was a moment, I feel like that would have been it.
Maybe they're taking a page from Ahsoka with Sabine, because we had many moments like that where it's like, oh, now she's about to do it, but she doesn't. She only does it at the very end.
Yeah, and we've said it many times that like the door is cracked.
Yeah.
Just depends on how far you can push it open.
Well, maybe what we're going to get here is, now that she's back in Imperial custody, they're going to juice her with the midichlorians to make sure that the binder works.
Yeah.
And now, oh my gosh, the door is wide open.
Oh, they did it to her. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I joked, I'm going to laugh if this turns out to be true, that she like just
juices herself up. Yeah.
She like uses force steroids.
Mm-hmm.
But now I kind of think that this is possible. Like they are going to do it to her to make sure, like, because they have to do more experiments.
Yeah, they have to.
Because they have her blood. So like, this is another thing. They had the sample, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they only needed the sample to be like, okay, how does this work, and then recreate it, then they wouldn't need Omega.
Yeah.
But they do, clearly, because there's more tests to be run.
Mm-hmm.
So what if they get her and that's what they try? They try taking from those other kids.
Yeah.
They have all these midichlorians and they're like, all right, juice her up. We're going to see if that works. And maybe they do like a dark mirror to what Asajj was doing. Maybe Palpatine comes in and does it. I doubt it. But
again, I told you. She's got to face off.
Fight Palpatine.
Not fight him, but like face him essentially. Yeah.
Omega, like Palpatine. I don't want to fight you, Omega. I wouldn't want to fight me neither.
I wouldn't want to fight me neither. Get him, Batcha. Ah!
That's great.
Backed over.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe they juice her up and she has to do like, they make her run tests, like lift that.
Yeah.
Lift that ball.
Lift the stone.
You know, like they're like electrocuting her, shooting her or something with the stun gun, whatever that is. Jeez.
Yeah.
Can't think about it. But anyway, maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I keep thinking back to last episode. I'm like, what is the point? Why do you show this? Why do you show her trying?
Yeah.
The only other thing I thought was if that's just the backdoor pilot, then maybe they explore that in the Ventress and Omega show.
Yeah. If that's going to be a thing.
Yeah. I'm leaning toward that's going to be a thing. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be the Ventress show, but maybe if it's the Ventress and Omega show, the hidden path.
I hope it's like Tales of the Jedi or something like that. I don't know if I want a whole show about that. Do you?
I think called like the path. Sure.
Okay.
I was also thinking about this. Like, let's say,
what if Quinlan Vos shows back up?
Yeah.
We don't like him. Anyway.
I think they might do a better job with him in animation because he's okay in Clone Wars. Just don't like him in the book. That's all.
I gotcha.
I was thinking though, with this Palpatine kidnapping children thing that carries all the way through
Kenobi and all that too.
Through Kenobi and Mando.
Yeah.
The path becomes even more important and even more relevant to these stories.
Trying to save these people instead of letting them get kidnapped by the bad guys.
Yeah. So what if the end of this, they get what they need from Omega? Oh, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to kill you.
Yeah.
You're done. She escapes. There's the big uprising on Tantus. Everything happens. Whatever. Show ends. Now Omega's with Ventress. She knows the importance of these children.
Yeah.
She knows that they cannot come to the Empire. Maybe she's force sensitive. Maybe she isn't.
Yeah.
She teams up with Ventress, maybe Quinlan, but probably just those two mainly.
Yeah.
And they go and they're on the path. They're
liberating kids and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because Omega has a personal stake in this.
Yeah.
She's like,
she was once a child. An innocent child. Now she's got to save others.
And maybe she feels guilty because if they succeed, she's like, it's my blood is the reason why this is possible.
Yeah.
So I need to save these people. I need to save them.
It's my blood that's putting everybody at risk. Yeah. So yeah.
I think that's a perfect through line. Like I think that it could work.
Maybe you're right.
I don't hate the idea.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's a fun direction to take Omega. I am confident in this team, whatever, if they do it well. So far they're doing things really well. So I'm confident they'll continue to do it. And I will go, I'll be open to anything.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer it as of right now where everything stands. If they were to do that show, that Omega is the soldier and Ventress is the force user.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the tag team. Because that's fun. That's a fun buddy cop scenario there. Especially if you fast forward about 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And she's an adult.
That was what I was kind of hoping is I think we need a little bit of a time skip.
I hope there's a time skip.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
I'd love it to be like a Batman Beyond thing. I said that. Like Asajj is
super old. Not
super old, but maybe she's a little older.
Yeah.
Maybe this is concurrent with Kenobi. It's like that time period.
Mm-hmm.
Because Omega would be 23-ish. Yeah, she'd be 23 at the time of Kenobi. That's perfect time. Time. And it'd be great to get a Boba popping in and stuff. I'm becoming less confident we're going to see Boba Fett at this point. I don't know.
We got 5 episodes. You never know.
It's true.
He could show up.
But maybe they're saving that. Maybe they're saving that for
the finale. Or maybe this new show.
For this new show. Maybe they're saving that. Because there's something there. We've said it forever. There's a connection.
Those kids even showed back up in this episode too.
Which kids?
The one he voiced.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were there. Yeah. So can't just show them again.
Maybe he does pop up. Maybe he's one of the cavalry that's arriving in that episode.
Yeah.
Maybe Boba Fett's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's a connection with him and Ventress. But
I
think if they don't do it in this show, it's a foregone conclusion if they're doing the Ventress and Omega show.
Yeah.
We're gonna see that there. But it's good stuff. I love it, man. It's great. This is awesome. Awesome stuff. I loved the confirmation about Omega. It really, like I said, it really helped me with the previous episode, my issues I had with it.
It's okay to have a little speed bump because then we just, boom, we're going again.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. It's, and like I said, maybe by the end of it all makes sense.
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying the slow trickle of information.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've done a really good job at giving you just enough every episode, answering like last week, we're asking a bunch of questions about Omega. They immediately gave us the answers.
Got it all figured out.
It's great, but we still don't know a lot. And that's what's
No.
awesome is they just keep you intrigued. Like the writing team is really outstanding this season.
I would like to see them. I'd love to see them tackle like a live action show.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see what they could do.
I'd love it too.
Yeah.
I'd love it too. I really want that post Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker show with Han and Leia now with these guys. Gosh.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
It just makes me excited about Star Wars, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like sometimes in the current state of Star Wars, or, you know, Disney Star Wars, you know, sometimes there could be some like.
It's always in flux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get Book of Boba Fett season 2. Sometimes you get Bad Batch season 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
awesome. It's awesome.
Oh,
Keep you guessing. You never know.
Heck yeah.
I got a feeling Skeleton Crew is going to be a sleeper hit.
I think so too.
Like nobody knows.
No one knows a thing about it. And it's going to drop and it's going to be like, oh my gosh, this is cool.
Yeah.
That's Jude Law. He's my favorite character.
Yeah. He's my favorite Jedi.
Exactly. If he's a Jedi.
Maybe he's a Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's one of the kids that Omega liberates.
Exactly. All grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So man, lots of great stuff. I think you're right about Emery. I loved that she left the little hey Lulu.
Yep.
That was kind of I mean, she did that because of Omega, and there's a clear connection there now that Omega's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. I think Emery is the link.
Yep.
To start to get this ball rolling. And I love the connection you made with Wolf.
Yeah.
And maybe he's the clone connection to start to get this all rolling.
Yeah.
Lot of just boom, boom, boom. You know, just
and everything's
good.
kind of nicely like fitting together. And that's cool. That is cool.
Before we move on to the next topic, Tarkin. We got a little bit of Tarkin.
Yeah.
That was nice to see him.
It was. It's interesting that he just it's like he's the boss, even though he acts like he's the boss, even though he's not the boss, if that makes sense. Where it's just like, well, tell me what's going on. I'd happily give you some resources. No, I'm doing my thing. Okay, because you're taking a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like money from, he's probably thinking about the Death Star.
Well, I wondered, that guy that he's talking to, there's a guy there talking to him when the hologram pops up, and he's got that Death Star guy helmet.
Yeah, you think it's Krennic?
No. It's just that, that helmet, the weird, I don't know how to describe
Gunner.
it. Yeah. So I wonder if, they're just getting some things done on Project Stardust.
Yeah.
And that's why he's like, hey, screw Project Necromancer. This is the key.
Exactly.
It's a fun back and forth that the Empire has. Like Palpatine's playing both, but you have the Tarkins of the world or the galaxy that are all in on the Death Star, but then the Vaders who
You're the only thing that remains of that old religion. Let our super weapon take care of everything. Yeah.
It's just fascinating that like that's the two. They're using the dark side or they're using immense force.
Yeah.
And here we get a little bit more of that.
The Imperial might, basically.
Yeah. So speaking of the Imperial force, I think this is the worst the Empire has ever seen, in my opinion.
I mean,
the worst.
It's true because like when you watch 4, 5, and 6, you kind of get the vibes. It's like the stormtroopers are kind of just guys that are trying to wait for their pension, basically. Like, they're just guys. This, like, we get them actually destroying things and wrecking things and actually seeming like a terror. Yeah. Which is...
Yeah, sometimes Star Wars ping pongs between, these are the goofy henchmen. Yeah. Star Wars Rebels has a lot of that. Yeah. So these are the goofballs. Yeah. Kind of turns a little bit once Thrawn gets involved, but especially in the first 2 seasons. And then, you get a lot of that in the original trilogy. But sequel trilogy, at least Force Awakens, man, it starts with the burning a whole village. Yep. They're kind of scary.
Yep. They're nasty again. Yeah.
And here, and you get pieces of it in some of the shows too. Like I think they're kind of scary in Kenobi a little bit. They definitely seem sinister. Like I love that truck ride, where they're asking questions. Like these guys care about what they're doing. Yeah. And then in
Mando, you got the 2 goofy scouts, which isn't exactly
good.
But
the ping pong. Right? Yeah. And then you get there's one more thing I was trying to think of. Andor. Yeah. Get a lot of scary Empire in Andor.
Yes.
Or Andor. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that a lot. That shot of you hear the Star Destroyer come out of hyperspace, but it's like looking down,
shooting the light down.
Yeah, and then you just
I'll be real with you. I didn't even realize what that was when I was first watching it. I'm like, what? I'm like, what's up? I didn't realize that there was a star, like that was the silhouette of the Star Destroyer was there. I was like, what's lit up there? Oh, and I'm like, oh, that's its light shining down on them. That like, oh, okay. There's a whole Star Destroyer up there. Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
The shot specifically of Hunter where it holds on him for a long time, where it's very slow and he just looks up.
Yeah.
While the music is starting to go. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Good stuff. Because that episode started and I'm like, yeah, this is good. You know, we're hanging out on Pabu. We got some stuff going on here. You know, they're getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
But then, Clone X shows up in his little mini Star Destroyer.
He ruins everything.
And
he parks in the same place Ventress did.
Yeah, I noticed that. And it shows that she was right too. Like that you're not as safe as you think you are. If I could get here, other people can find you.
Yeah.
And wow, it was scorched earth.
Yeah, definitely. R.I.P. Marauder.
I know. It was like the Razor Crest. I was like,
know.
Man, I love that ship.
Yeah. It's real weird.
I kind of thought that Wrecker was out.
Oh, see, and I think maybe that's why I was like, I was expecting something real bad. I thought that he was, I was expecting one of them to die. I really was.
And
especially when they teased it with like Wrecker and then later with Hunter, that I was just like, okay. Like Crosshair was the only one that I figured like that he's going to be fine. That, but I thought that, pour one out for my little homie. Like he got Gonky out of there before. Yeah.
There was just
the ship blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just something so unsettling about that very, very slow, once again, slow turn where Wrecker's looking, he sees the explosive and he just screams.
Yeah.
And dives into the water.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shoot, that comes out of nowhere. Wow.
Yeah.
Because we've just gotten so used to these characters, like they figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, but they're caught
good at what they do.
Off guard.
Yeah.
Wrecker's out immediately. And then Hunter.
How interesting is that too? That like Clone X, what do you do? Okay, I'm going to take out the physical threat first.
Yeah.
I can take care of the rest by
He's
myself.
Smart.
Yeah, he is.
And then Hunter, you know, trying to take the gunship and he fails.
But that's so cool though.
It is.
I'm so happy that he got a cool moment because I feel like he hasn't been able to be cool, if that makes sense, or he just has to be kind of the thing everybody's standing on.
Yeah.
That like this was cool where it's just like, no, I'm going to go get myself a gunship. That
it showed how capable that he is.
Yes.
Because he was doing some really cool maneuvers, like sliding that thing while hiding under cover. And,
I really dug when he threw the guy out the out the side of it. I was just like, this is cool. I'm liking this. Yeah.
Very good. And like it was so heartbreaking.
Well, how dark too was it that like Clone X shot the pilot?
Yeah.
Yeah. To ensure that the Rex,
they just all fail. And that's what's, I think, very interesting and almost cathartic in a way, because we don't see these characters fail that much. We have seen Crosshair.
Yeah.
And that was, I said it earlier, that was a moment it really hit hard, I thought.
Yeah.
Where he's like taking out all the clones and they're cutting back and forth where
and
like
you're
the guy's
come
walking.
On, he's about
to do it. You're like, you know, he's about to he's just barely going to hit it.
Yeah.
The music's going to swell a little bit. No.
It falls super short. So it's like there's no way. Like
there was no chance.
He missed that window like by a long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just that lingering shot of him.
Yeah.
Where he just slowly lowers his gun.
It's interesting too that like we've talked about it before, like how you can see the expression under the helmet.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. It's just really interesting that like you can capture that even with a helmet, just with like head movements and how you exactly shoot it. Like, again, it's really interesting how you can make Darth Vader look sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can make him look mean, you know what I mean? Just with, head movement and camera angle and stuff like that. But definitely, I thought they did a great job of making Crosshair very sympathetic in that shot.
Yeah, you could see everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And I love that you got one last little hit of each one of them. They're separated. Mm-hmm. They've been defeated. There's failure.
Yeah.
But we're in the middle of the story.
Yeah. This is our empire.
Yes.
Our baby empire strikes back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But this is the dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
And now we're about to see these guys rise up.
Yeah.
Because Omega's got the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Crosshair, I think, is going to rally the team because he's like,
do you not think that Hunter's going to try to beat the crap out of
him? Oh,
him?
he's going to beat mad.
Yeah.
He's going to be ticked. But I think that Crosshair, he's going to have the rallying moment where he's like, you know what? Like, I believed in her.
Yeah.
We got, this is it. This is our moment.
You need to believe in her too, Hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
I think that that's going to be great to see Crosshair finally believing in himself. Because I think
he's now actually part of the batch.
Yeah.
Then at that point, like, again, you know
and
what I mean?
now he has a reason to fix what's going on up here.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to save Omega.
Yeah.
This person.
Is that going to be the...
Yeah.
It's gone. Yeah. Paint it black, please.
Yeah.
you just...
Exactly.
You just take it out, guys. Yeah.
It's just, I'm looking forward to that. I think that his little sister loved him enough. Now he's got to love his sister back.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to take that out.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So
it's going to be good.
Last thing, Clone X.
Yeah.
I think we got a little bit of confirmation about who these guys are.
Yeah.
So is he Tech?
Is he evil Crosshair?
Is he Cody? Maybe Cody.
Maybe. Doubt it.
I think he's just a regular guy because we get 2 shots of this, of what I'm about to say. In the beginning.
Schematics.
Yeah. Hemlock looking at his schematics. We get in the beginning, when we first see him, this vat closes, you get the smoke rolling out, and he's holding a pad.
Yeah.
If you zoom in on that, which I did, it's the exact same model that's on his screen later after he swipes through Clone X, because he gets that pulled up after his conversation with Tarkin, and that's Clone X because he comes out and it's the same guy. But then he goes to another one and it's this other dude, and I think he has like a dual pronged spear in that shot.
Yeah, that there is like a weird like like it looks like a tuning fork.
Yeah.
Like, or the Mandalorian's gun, his rifle.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can't take credit for this one because a lot of other people have said this, that these guys would be Generation 1 or Generation 0 Dark Troopers.
Gotcha.
And if you look up what a Gen 1 Dark Trooper looks like, that helmet is dang near spot on with what pops up on Hemlock's tablet.
Yeah.
With the exception of they kind of, like the ones grill in Legends have like a grill kind of like Vader.
Yeah.
But the silhouette's the same. The ridges on the top of the helmet are the same. The eyes are almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
And so the Dark Troopers went through, like the Generation 2 was like kind of a messed up like exoskeleton type thing where they like would take clones and like kind of morph them into these things. And then obviously Gen 3 Dark Troopers we saw in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But I think that's what these guys are. They're just Gen 0
Dark Troopers. Like it's like,
or at Clone X he's a Gen 0 Dark Trooper basically.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the last one. He's the only one right now because he says that nobody else is ready to be deployed. You're the only one out in the field.
Yeah.
So maybe Rex has gotten rid of the rest of them.
I could kind of believe it. I could kind of not believe it. I don't know. I'm not sure because it just, I guess they can change stuff. Cause like the Dark Trooper that was originally a droid and then it was like a hybrid and then Moff Gideons are like, take out the human element of it. Now it completely follows you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I could see them doing like, I think it makes sense, especially with Moff Gideon saying that they finally got rid of the human element, like the first couple generations. Yeah.
Or some sort of hybrid that could start with a clone and then,
In fact, it has to be that because, they have to have done that even if these aren't Dark Troopers because he says that in Mando.
And again, we're getting new versions of Dark Troopers.
Yeah, just a little bit of a modification.
Yeah.
I still think it's possible he's like a Cody.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't know.
Well, what's the payoff now at this point? And I think too that we're too deep into it now for him to be, even though she did have his goggles, that they brought up Tech's goggles again.
I think that was more of a closure moment.
Yeah.
I don't think that was.
It gets his goggles off the ship too, since they
exactly.
blew up as well.
Yep.
That's the other thing that, like, that part of him can survive basically because there's nothing left of their old life basically.
Yeah, they could have pulled a Mando and like in the wreckage of the Marauder, they pull up.
They pull up his glasses. Did you know these were made of Beskar?
Yeah, I think that them. First of all, beautiful moment of Omega. Putting Tech's goggles in that like
little shrine kind of thing,
thing, kind of commemorating him.
Yeah.
But I think that's, to me, was the rest of the confirmation I needed that this guy is not Tech.
Yeah.
Because this is, I really thought that was them laying him to rest.
Yeah.
And also, like you said, getting it off of the Marauder before it blows up.
Yes.
A very intentional type moment.
Yeah.
I think that we're past the point where it can be tech. I just...
Well, especially with 5 episodes left, it's like, what's the payoff then at that point? Or like, where do you have the resolution? Like, it's just like you're running out of time very, very fast to be able to like have that reveal and then have that payoff. Yeah.
It would feel like it was very out of nowhere.
Just tacked on. Yeah.
I think the only payoff to that is you get a moment in the Clone Uprising, whatever's going to happen in the finale, where you have the full batch together one last time.
Yeah.
But I just think that's weak.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Characters need to stay dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His sacrifice really meant something.
Yes.
Let's keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, next week we have the Juggernaut, which
I mean, I went back and watched the trailer again. Even though we did a lot of bashing of it last week. It's kind of wild how many shots from this episode were in that original trailer.
Right? I know.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, all right, because I thought that we had seen pretty much everything. And anyway, you see some shots from the Juggernaut. I'm like, because I was like, wait, did they hop on the Marauder? And no, they hop on, I don't remember the Thieves.
Yeah, the little cargo ship that
yes,
they've got.
they hop on her ship. So I'm like, okay, so that's what's going to happen next, basically. And, they're taking the fight to the Empire, which I love.
And another thing that's interesting in those trailer shots that we didn't notice, like Omega's not there. It's the 3 batch members.
It's true.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So I think next episode, that's what we're in for. We're in for a little adventure of the week type, but they're taking the fight to the Empire. Maybe they're trying to find coordinates to Tantus with Fee.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're bringing down Sid because she screwed both them and Fee.
Exactly.
So I'm okay. If that's the adventure of the week next week, if we're taking a break from the main line.
Just to get rid of Sid.
You know what? So be it.
It's fine.
It's worth the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a feeling next week is not going to hit quite as hard.
Yeah. I think that it's got to be a little lighter. Nothing else that I wanted to really say, except that like the poetry. It was nice that Crosshair was the one that saw Omega leave rather than the slow shot of Hunter watching Omega leave.
Yep.
And just,
it's good.
Yeah. It's good.
It's been nice to see the trajectory. I think we can kind of predict how the rest of the season will go. We have really intense. We kind of level out for a moment. Intense level out for a moment.
Yeah. But still climbing.
There were some reviews that came out this week of people who were given access to the rest of the season minus the finale.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying this is like, guys,
just keeps getting better.
Holy smokes. Like everybody was like, I can't wait to see the finale now. Like, I don't know how they top this.
Okay. That's what I want to hear.
Now I get it. Those are reviewers.
Yeah. No, they're supposed to, but
they have a stake in being like,
hyping people up. But I mean, we heard really good things about the first couple episodes of Bad Batch, and they were great.
Yeah.
So why not trust them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's going to be fun.
Next week.
Yeah.
The Juggernaut.
Before
we move on to the fan questions, we have one last thing to do before we put this episode to bed.
Yeah.
These 2 episodes to bed. The tier list.
Yeah.
Okay. What episode was this? Is this 10? Yeah, 10 and 11.
Okay.
All right. So the last episode we put bottom of B.
Yeah.
Where does episode 11 go?
I say that it's in the A tier. I don't know if it's I think that it's behind 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
1.
Yep.
Oh, I just wrote down 1. It's 10. Episode 10.
Yeah. Then put a comma and then put 1 in front of it. Yeah. Yeah. Like that. Yeah.
So 10.
Yeah. Where do you think
11?
Yeah, where do you think 11 goes? You think it's S tier?
I'm about there. I know what's coming. Like, I just think that
I think that it could get better though.
I do too.
I think it's at the top of the A tier. I think you scoot everything down.
Very top. I'm thinking about this episode 5, because we have 1 episode in S tier.
Which I'm sorry.
That's the one where they go to the outpost again.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
It's great. Is it better than that?
I don't think so. You think it's better?
Dude, I love that Empire stuff and like the character work with Hunter doing cool stuff.
Yeah, it is cool. But is it better than them fighting like Dune in the snow?
Yeah.
You think so?
The only thing that's making me not sure is the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
Like it's takes so a minute.
Yeah.
But I think it goes here, man. And then maybe right above 5.
You think it's above 5?
Yeah, but leaving all this space for more.
Okay, then put it there. We'll see.
And
Maybe
we
I
can
could
always
argue
come
it
back.
later.
We can always come back.
Yeah.
I think this episode really hit.
Okay. All right.
So we got an S and
got an S and an A. Yeah.
I mean, the season's been slapping.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean,
banger after banger.
Yeah, because the only reason I'm even conflicted about that is because I know that
that's
the finales are going to be insane.
Yeah, that I'm kind of like I have a feeling that it's just going to keep building.
Maybe when we get to the finale, we got to be like, you know what?
Everything
just shift all these
down.
up.
Oh,
or no, down.
Yeah, everything's got to slide down.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's hear from you guys at home.
Yeah.
Clear your mind of questions.
Fan question segment. Before we dive into the fan questions, got a couple updates for you guys. Merch update. Don't know if y'all noticed my hat. This is the one I've had for a while, so it's not really fair, but we haven't given you an update in a little while. I've gotten a few more questions, not a ton since the last time, but it is coming. We are getting close to launching some merch. We got some cool stuff. I'm actually excited. There's one that's kind of funny that I'm looking forward to. Kind of a meme from the show. We got a specific request for it. And I was like, that's so funny. I'm going to make that. So my wife's helping me out with that. That's her wheelhouse. She's real good at that. I know nothing. Yeah.
I don't.
What you do? I sent you stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about any of it, really. I got nothing. I sent one design to you where I was like, hey, I think this could be cool later on. That is about it.
The reason why it's taken a little while, just if you guys are curious, we wanted to have something that we'd be proud of design wise.
Also too, like I'm trying to make stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's also like, I'm trying to figure out the process of doing it. Cause I want to be able to do that too, where someone's like, I want a shirt that like Seth actually made that like, if they would want that or want to, and I'm still trying
to, he's got some cool ideas.
Yeah. I'm trying to like make that work. Cause it's I've tried a couple times. It's just just blown up in my face. So I'm like, but I will get that figured out. That's
just
it's the process
the
of
creators in us.
Yeah. That I'm trying
to have that kind of intimate touch on it.
Yes.
But we're not just doing spoiler alert. We are doing some merch that's just the logo on some stuff, you know, but we're taking it like a little step further with some other things. I got some couple original designs that they aren't crazy, but I like them. I think they look nice.
Well, it's just that too, that like, to make them, anybody could just slap a logo on it. Like I want it to be,
I wanted to make stuff that I would wear too.
Yes.
So like there's a hat that I'm excited about because I want it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the update. It is coming very soon.
Yeah.
We got basically one more thing we have left to do. So keep an eye out for that. Indiana Comic-Con video. I know I've been really slow about this. I mentioned it last week. I apologize. Life has been busy. I know it's my fault. I got a little more I got to do too. I just want it to be a good video, And with that, I will, like I promised last week, the Rosario and Hayden panel, I will open that up to channel members first and then put it unlisted for everybody. So that's coming. And one last reminder, PopCon. We keep teasing it.
At the end of the month.
Indie PopCon. It's at the end of April.
Yes, we will be involved in it, and it's going to be fun. We will let you know more details.
We're waiting. We want to say so bad, but there's we're waiting for the time when we can say something.
Yeah.
But we're just getting you heads up that way in case you want to go to PopCon. Hey, it's a fun convention anyway.
Yeah.
Come out. There's some great guests.
Yes.
Really, really great guests.
Yes. So please. You could come hang out with us because we'll be running around acting like idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I personally, Seth's not coming. I'll be at the Midwest Gaming Classic. It's in Wisconsin. It's in Milwaukee.
Brave of you.
Yeah, I'm a big retro game guy, and I may make a video. I don't know, because I have a lot of Star Wars games I want to hunt down. Since we're more of a Star Wars channel, I want to kind of keep it pointed. I may make a video. I may not. I don't know. But hey, if you're going to be there, come say hi if you're going to be there. Okay. Yeah. Fan questions. Every week, I put up a prompt on Instagram at Beyond the Dunes C on Wednesday morning, asking you guys what you thought about the Bad Batch, what you thought about Star Wars, what you think about anything. And we'll answer the questions here on the show. So let's get right into it. Crafting on Ilum, crafting _ Ilum. I like that name a lot, by the way. I just think that's fun. She's got some great content over there. Who is the gray trooper, the one that found Omega? Sorry if you've answered this before. The Gray Trooper. You're talking about
X, probably.
Clone X.
Yeah.
I know she's talking about him or Scorch. Because Scorch is kind of gray.
He's white and yellow.
He's got some gray accents. Yeah, I'm sure she's talking about Clone X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're Gen Zero Dark Troopers.
Yeah,
I think he's
the Link or whatever.
Yeah, the identity-less clone that we see in season 2. He's just another one of those.
Yeah,
that goes through the conditioning, and then they pop out like that.
Yeah.
Curious to see where that goes. If we're going to see the other Dark Troopers, I think
More
they got
evolution.
to because they've teased them now.
Yeah,
I think we're going to see more.
Well, in season 1, there were those droids that they fought that looked similar to them as well. We never got like those confirmation or whatever of what they were exactly, but they even kind of look like a Dark Trooper as well. So maybe we'll see some sort of hybrid of the two.
Yeah, be interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Old Greg Foskett, do you think this show will end and another animated spin-off will begin? If so, what? The path.
The way.
Starring Ventress and Omega.
Yeah, and occasionally Quinlan Voss.
Yeah.
Guest star. Oh man.
Massage, can you please?
Can my sweet dove, can I hang out with you? My little Minoc.
I love this caricature of Quinlan Voss we've created. If you read the book, you'll know what we mean. This is how he acts. Okay? This is what he does.
I'm cranking it to 11, mind you, but it's I love it.
He's gonna be played by Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Or J.R. Wooey. He's doing a pretty good job.
He's doing a pretty good job too.
He's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. Who knows? Quinlan Voss may return. Anyway, so I think that's probably what we're getting.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Return of the Jedi. Hopefully that comes at some point too.
Yeah.
He has another question, old Greg Foskett. As we get closer to the end, I get an eerie feeling our Bad Batch will meet its demise. Thoughts?
I think they're all gone.
I think that I'd be surprised if any of them make it out.
Yeah.
I could kind of see Crosshair surviving just to kind of lead that Ronin life.
Yeah. We got a lot of Ronins in Star Wars, though, especially in this time period. So I think they're all gone.
Yeah. Because then, there's this eternal problem with Star Wars, which is when you get a big...
Where are they then?
Yeah, where are they at?
Yeah. Why aren't they helping? Why aren't they fighting the good fight? Yeah.
I mean, you could always kind of shoehorn in the rebellion. They were there. They were doing their own thing. We just don't see the stories.
Yeah.
That could work, I guess. But once you just insert... It works better with clones. When it's Jedi, you really have to start asking some questions.
Yeah.
But with clones, it could be they're just soldiers out there. They're fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
Sir_Django_Fett. I love this question. Are you recanting on the it's not tech theory? How about Boba? Absolutely not. I'm not recanting anything.
Double down into that.
Double down.
Yeah,
it's not tech. Tech is dead. He's in the ground. He's sitting on a shrine of Pabu.
Exactly. His glasses are there. What do you think about that? George didn't want glasses in Star Wars.
Really? I knew about the paper thing.
Yeah. I think he said that too about glasses.
Well, they always do something with glasses. Nobody just wears glasses except for Dr. Pershing, I guess. He wears just regular glasses. Like Emery has those weird looking red ones.
Which is what kind of like what Tech has.
And there's goggles. I mean, we've seen goggles. Like they wear them in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. But I mean like not glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have no thoughts.
It's interesting.
Got more questions.
This guy, the creator didn't like. Yeah, we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Sir_Django_Fett also says, do you think we will get a longer episode in the season finale? Maybe. I think it's possible. We did get, if you remember back to season 1, the episode 1 of season 1 was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like 3 episode drop. It was one episode.
Long one.
Very long episode. Maybe.
Cavalry has arrived.
I'd love to see it. Love to see it. And then one last question from Sir Django. Omega now has one-on-one time with Clone X. Do you think he will reveal himself? I don't think he has a reason to. I think that maybe I really don't even see us giving time to that in the next episode. Maybe.
She'll probably already be on Tantus.
Yeah.
Like we won't see her arriving on Tantus.
Yeah. Because we've already seen that. We don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason for him to reveal who he is because even if he's unless he's tech.
Yeah,
There's no
especially
reason
if it's our theory, he's just a guy. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. What? She's seen that face before.
Yeah. She's seen many clones, you know,
Exactly.
or even if it's Cody, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay,
No
nice
relation.
tattoo, I guess, but you
Yeah.
look exactly the same like
Yeah.
the rest of them.
Yeah. Cody
Yeah.
has a tattoo?
I think right there, right? Or am I thinking of another clone? Doesn't he have like 2 little lines?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's 5.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
goodness.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what are you talking about,
my,
dude?
My goodness.
What
Bad
we
Star
gonna do
Wars
with
fan.
you?
My bad Star Wars fan. It wasn't in trust, so I didn't.
Yeah,
Didn't
exactly.
commit
You
to
weren't
memory.
paying attention.
Yeah. Star Wars Sith 66. Which episode did you guys enjoy more from today?
10. Episode 10.
11.
Okay.
I liked them both, though.
Fine.
Liked them both.
It's fine.
We'll just
Yeah.
to duke it out later, I
I guess so.
BLOORE on Mandalore. Love what he's doing over there. So much fun. So much fun. He's he's actually picking up on things a little too quickly, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slow down a little bit. Okay. Can
Yeah.
we see you miss once? Can we see you fumble a little bit? You just picked up a camera.
Yeah.
My goodness. He's already doing these sick intros where he's like meditating. He's got
Yeah.
like fun little gags, you know. He's like his lighting's not bad. You know, audio sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Relax, man. Make a few bad. The rule is when you start by filming and you make short films, you got to make 100 bad ones before you make a good one.
Yeah. And
Make
then
some bad ones.
And then it becomes one for you, one for them.
Yeah.
One for you, one for them. One for you.
Get out of here,
Them.
BLOORE. Make some bad ones for. I was giving you a hard time, obviously. Like he's doing great. He's doing great over there. I love the vibe. You
Yeah.
know, it's always about the vibe.
Yeah.
Another person who has a good vibe, by the way, I just discovered this week. I want to get the name right. Just because I love pointing out other creators. My phone is just glitching out. I have nothing on right now.
Yeah.
What is happening?
I don't know.
That was weird. What in tarnation? I'm just trying to pick
What
up.
in tarnation? Yeah.
There we go. My
Well,
goodness.
talent recognizes talent.
I
That's the
guess.
whole thing. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about your music. I'm talking about like, you're throwing out other good content creators.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tales of the Force.
Tales of the Force.
She is, because she's got a podcast. Jessica, yeah, is her name, who runs the podcast. But new podcast, I've seen like Crafting on Ilum on there. But what I like that she does differently is she talks about like people's stories with Star Wars.
Oh, their origins.
Yeah, just kind
Yeah.
of like what it means to them and
Mhm.
that kind of that relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. Like we're just a couple of goofballs who talk about the plot and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like, that's fun, but a million other people say the same things that we do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we may have a unique take from time to time, but I think what she's doing is really fun. It's looking at people,
Yeah.
talking about people and their
The
relationship
fandom. Yeah.
with Star Wars, and just very genuine and great lighting too. I'm just a sucker for that.
Yeah.
I just love good production. So I just wanted to shout her out because I think she just started. But Tales of the Force
Tales of
on
the Force.
Instagram. I think she's on Spotify as well. I don't think she's on YouTube unless I'm mistaken, but
Mhm.
she's great.
Yeah.
I'll try to remember to put a link in the description. I need to read your I always do this with BLOORE. He always gets me sidetracked
Yeah.
on something. My goodness. Will the batch be picked off one by one like in The Predator? The end is near. One final mission.
No way. They go down together. Yeah. They're
So,
brothers.
Yep.
Brothers in arms.
I think the only one who may die on his own is Echo.
But he's with Rex.
Yeah, but I
And
think he
them.
kind of, I don't know. I think that he's got to get back with the batch.
You think so?
Yeah. When everybody arrives, when you have your 3-point battle that you
Yeah.
keep talking about,
It's happening.
I think Echo has to jump in back with the batch. You need that moment where they're all like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun, 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 and they're cleaning house.
Yeah, cleaning rooms and stuff like that, snapping necks and cashing checks. Yeah.
You think it might be like a Rogue One situation where we just one by one?
No, I wouldn't want that. But
You wouldn't want that. You want them all just in a single moment.
Well, again, I would want them all to go down like in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Like where it's like,
But like
okay.
in Rogue One, right?
Yeah, but I mean like,
Where like Chirrut goes out, but then Baze comes out and then he's out.
gosh, that makes me so mad. Bay's just getting so frustrated and they just decide to go out there and like, they just gets gunned down himself. I'm just like, just makes me mad. I like those characters. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it'll be like the Predator. I keep seeing
Yeah.
people with the Vader thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be, I wouldn't like that if Vader's the one to cut them down.
Yeah.
I'll be real. I would not like that.
Yeah.
That would just feel like...
The other thing, too, as we saw last week, Asajj can handle them easily.
Yeah.
Gosh. Vader would just...
Well, yeah, he could. I
Yeah.
don't like the idea of just, let's
Yeah.
bring Vader in to kill the batch.
Yeah.
Why, though?
Yeah.
I like the idea. It's about the clones.
Yeah.
And
Clone on clone violence.
They have to do something where they just can't make it out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a self-destruct thing. Maybe they go out with Tantus.
Yeah.
Like they blow it up from the inside. Omega gets out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, see ya.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like Rogue One with Jyn and Cassian. Basically something like that.
It had to be this way.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Here's looking at you, kid.
That's going to get me, man. I've not been so attached to characters in Star Wars in a long time.
Yeah.
And to truly not know where this is going, because the last time was like the sequel trilogy, but I got spoiled all the time for that.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised about Han. I was surprised about Luke, but it makes me mad, so I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then, Leia it didn't hit quite as hard because they had limitations and they couldn't do what
she passed away in real life. Yeah.
So now I'm like, gosh, these guys are going to hit me.
Yeah.
Because my heroes from Clone Wars, we've not seen them die. We don't know how they die. Ahsoka or Rex.
Yeah.
Rex would get me.
Yeah.
I saw.
But we know he makes it all the way to the Battle of Endor, at least.
I know, but I saw a Reddit thread that was like, why we will see Rex's death at Bad Batch. It was funny. It was like the
was it satire or did someone?
No,
really
it was real.
this?
It was like an Always Sunny in Philadelphia meme. It was like, look.
Yeah.
It basically said how like at the end of both Clone Wars and Rebels, we get a time jump in the last scene.
Yeah.
We're going to get a time jump at the end of Bad Batch and we're going to see Rex die. I'm like, why though?
That would be weird.
It would be weird. Maybe we do get a time jump, but it's the Ventress and Omega show.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny. Last question, Michael_Kramer98. Do you think Anakin would have turned if Qui-Gon didn't die in episode 1? Or do you think he still would have became Darth Vader? No. That's my answer.
You don't think he would have turned?
I think that's the point. I think Duel of the Fates, that's the point.
Yeah.
I mean,
we don't think that Palpatine would have been able to find a way?
No, because I think that
the Darth Plagueis would have been able to find a way.
When you read Plagueis, that was Plagueis's biggest fear.
Yeah, he was scared of him.
Like everything culminates in the grand plan. Finally, it's right before Palpatine is elected Chancellor.
Yeah,
Plagueis, if you've not read the book, he goes to visit Anakin because he's alive during Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
and he's like, I think I created this kid with this experiment that I did
10 years ago.
And he goes to not Padme's apartment. What is that? Whatever that is, that apartment that you see in Phantom Menace with all the red. He goes there and he just misses Anakin.
Yeah.
And he's afraid, like this is it. And then he has like this inner monologue where he's like, all this time, the entire legacy of the Sith is that it's about to be done by Qui-Gon. It's not even Anakin.
Yeah.
He's so afraid of Qui-Gon. And I mean, that's the name of the duel. It's the Duel of the Fates. Dave Filoni said the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think, and we know Qui-Gon would have trained Anakin, not Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he
Anakin would have definitely been a more structured human being. He would have had would have had his bearings.
Well, he wouldn't have been shot down at every moment in his life.
Exactly.
Qui-Gon would have found it, like if Padme is still in his future, Qui-Gon would have been like, all right, bro.
Yeah, we would have found a way.
Yeah, he would have found a way, and he would have taught him ways to, like, you don't need to worry about being on the council.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about being a Jedi Master. None of it matters. You just need to follow the Force. And I think that he doesn't turn into Darth Vader at that point. I think Palpatine has to find another way. And then maybe Qui-Gon and Anakin have to take down Palpatine. Because I think even if Palpatine then kills Qui-Gon as a way to turn Anakin, I think that Anakin is too well structured in Qui-Gon's teachings, because Qui-Gon would have been okay with becoming one with the Force.
Exactly. And it would be interesting too, because like, so Darth Maul dies, then with Qui-Gon still being alive, Dooku's not going to fall.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very
You hadn't thought about that?
No, not until you just said it. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so that really like shifts everything, that he's not going to be able to play the CIS in that way. Maybe
that's the story, like in this what if universe here, is that maybe Qui-Gon is now tempted because Palpatine turns Dooku, and maybe Dooku's like, hey, maybe it's a cascade, is like Palpatine kind of shifts gears. Okay, let's get Dooku to turn Qui-Gon, and then by Qui-Gon will turn Anakin.
Yeah.
And then you eliminate Qui-Gon, you eliminate Dooku. But
Obi-Wan's still the hero, though. Somehow on his own. Yeah.
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 That's a crazy little domino effect that could happen, just specifically because of Dooku.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think
do you
Qui-Gon
think-
would turn because of Dooku, though.
But here's the other thing, though. Do you think that Dooku would even turn in the first place?
Oh,
That's what I was getting at, is that he would never turn.
yeah. He wouldn't have that final push.
Exactly. So, like,
Well, he was getting closer. I
yeah,
think that
he'd be frustrated, but I mean, he'd just leave and
I
that'd
think
be it.
Qui-Gon might talk some sense into him.
Okay.
Like, I think Dooku might get to the precipice, but then Qui-Gon pulls him off,
Yeah.
pulls him off the edge.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I never considered the Dooku. That is a very important puzzle piece to that whole what if scenario.
Well, I'm happy that
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun idea.
happy I did that.
So that's going to about do it for the fan questions. That's going to do it for the show this week. Next week, tentatively live show. We also have a tentative Tales from the Archives are doing something a little different for that. So we're going to be live one way or the other next week. It's just whether this show will be live.
Yeah.
But I think that Tales from the Archives is going to be the following week. But just keep an eye out on socials for that.
Yeah.
Either way, Beyond the Dune Sea is coming back next week. It's just
Yeah.
either it's going to be live.
Of course
or
we
not.
are.
Yeah.
We got to.
We got Bad Batch to talk about.
It's true.
We got the Juggernaut to
Yes.
talk about.
Juggernaut.
It's going to be a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Till next time, guys, we will see you next week.
Out beyond the sea.